This is a high-level overview of 8x8's Cloud Phone System Virtual Office software. For this demonstration, I will go ahead and start at the top of the software and work my way down the left side, go over all the features that are included in the X2 and above licenses. So to start, I will go ahead and go to my status or my presence. This is where I can let other people in the office know what my availability is, if I am busy, away from the office, as well as even adding a custom message, if I wanted to let somebody know that I'm in a meeting till 3 o'clock. That way they can take a message for me or let the person know when I'll be available again. I can go ahead and set my presence here with specific messages. And you'll notice that when I do that, right away when I go into the contacts, other people in my office, if they are viewing me, will be able to see that I am now read and the message that I'm in a meeting. You can see other people in the office, green, available, or not logged in. This is a demo system, so not everybody is logged in my office. And I'm going to go ahead and change myself back to available for the rest of the demo. This is also where you have the ability to choose what number you want to present when dialing out for caller ID. By default, it's going to have my 10-digit phone number or DID presented. But if I had other options here, like the company's main phone number, I could choose that, or I could even block my caller ID. I can also create my call forwarding rules here if I want to have my phone calls go to my cell phone or another phone that I'm working at for the time being. And you can even create very specific rules for that as far as where it rings first, how many rings, then where it rings next, and things like that. Once you bring in your contacts, you will have the ability to not only search for company contacts, which you can see again by knowing that there's presence that will let you know they're part of the company, but at the same time, this will integrate with your Gmail contacts as well as your Outlook contacts, so you will have the ability to do click to dial for any contacts that you integrate into the software. Your personal contacts will only be visible to you, whereas company contacts will be visible to everyone. If I go down to my call, I can see my placed calls, I can see my missed calls, and I can see my voicemails. My voicemails will be on the software. They will also be on the smartphone application. You will also have the ability to forward voicemails as a WAV file to any email address. And you can still go to your voicemail on the physical phone that is on your desk. The nice thing about the software is that you can go right down to the voicemail that you want to listen to without having to go through all of the voicemails before that voicemail. And you can even, when you hit play, go all the way to the end just to capture the last couple seconds of the call that you intended to listen to. You can also place calls from the software and use the soft phone, or use this to control the phone next to your computer. Like I'd mentioned, contacts. This is where you can see I have my company contacts available. Anybody who's logged into the system will show presence. Again, a few of these folks are just part of a demo system, so they are not logged in right now. But I can use this to go ahead and start a call with anybody. I can use this to start an internal chat. And I could go ahead and even click to meet them now if I wanted to do video with screen sharing. My contacts would be your Outlook and Gmail contacts that you bring into the software. Favorites would be any people that you want to have visible to you as your favorites. This can be a combination of both internal contacts as well as external contacts. You also have the ability to do chatting and texting from the software. Anybody who is internal in the system will be an IM chat. Anybody to the outside world, and this is an example that I used last week in a meeting, will be a text. So you can text the outside world from your work number and also receive text to your work number. This is where your one-on-one chats will reside, and this is where any rooms that you set up for group chats will reside. Any scheduled meetings will be here. Every user will have access to their own conference bridge. This does integrate with both Gmail or with your Google Calendar as well as your Outlook calendar. So you can plug in all of the meeting details in a calendar invite. Any of those meetings will now show up here for click one touch to join. But just to quickly show you what this looks like, basically this is the conference bridge that people can dial into with a number and PIN, and you can also offer people a link to click on when you want to do screen sharing for web demo purposes. Here you can see some options where we can turn video on and off, mute ourselves, invite other participants, as well as start screen sharing. You also have the ability to give your users eFax capabilities. Here's where you will see your received faxes. A fax phone number is associated with an email address for inbound faxes. And for outbound faxes, you just have to go ahead and put the number you want to send it to. You will have a phone number that the fax comes from. You can add a cover letter, and you can drag and drop files right here to send out. Call recordings will reside here. This is something you can choose to enable or not enable. You also have the ability to record on the fly as an ad hoc recording or record all calls, and that will be announced to the caller that the call is being recorded. This is where I have the ability to choose what I want to call from. So if I wanted to use my computer as my telephone with a headset or even just like a speakerphone, I could choose my computer. As you can see, it's now picking up the microphone and speakers from my computer. I can use it to control my desk phone. So anytime I click to dial, it is my desk phone that rings out. I can go ahead and choose it to use my mobile phone number, phone as what I'm dialing from and receiving calls to. And I can add any other phone number. So if you were going to be on vacation for the week, you could go ahead and add the hotel or condo's phone number here and use a physical phone if you would like. Finally, some of the basic settings that users will have the ability to change on their own will reside here. But there is a browser-based, a portal for admin to give certain rights and rules for the users. So that's a very high-level overview of the software. And again, everything that I showed here was included with the X2 license. Thank you.